Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julie David. On today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to join the skirt. We drafted a pattern on my previous video, and if you haven't seen the pattern drafting tutorial, please click on the description box below so you can go and watch the pattern drafting before get your fabric ready before you head back to the sewing tutorial. So for here we are going to start with the front pieces. So this front pieces is the middle part where all the connection is going to start from the front. Those design is going to start from. You're going to place your strap or your strap to that pieces. Make sure you make a notch so that you know where the lower part of the strap is going to be, so everything is going to align together. So you make sure you pin all down. Once if you are done pinning down all your strap, you are going to repeat the same thing, both the upper part and the lower part, just like you see me doing. On here I have did all my pinning off camera, the lower part. So now we're going to get our lining, right side facing the right side, and make sure you pin down your lining as well. My lining was a little bit slippery. Make sure you pin down your strap to your main pieces and then you sew them down together. Do that the both upper and the lower part like you see me doing. After finish sewing, you are going to turn it out like you see me doing. Make sure you iron it so your fabric will stay in place. So on this part, what actually happened is that this style is my first style to make as a skirt. It was requested by one of my subscribers. I didn't know how to go about it. There was a lot of trying and error to get the right way to fix all this strap together to look exactly what she requested for. So I have to sew down my mini skirt, the lining together, both with the strap. So when I got it right, I have to loose it back and then start over again. That is where I realized that I needed to pin down all the strap on this middle part, the both side, all the strap out from that particular middle part there. Yes, I needed to put all the strap has to go through there before you can connect it, both the up and the lower part of the skirt. So on this part you're seeing at the part where I first sew down the strap first, there was a notches there. Make sure you make a notch so that you will not mistakenly place it wrongly. And if you mistakenly place it wrongly, it's not going to look straight. It's going to come out curvy, and that is not what you want. You want it straight. So make sure you pin it down. Pin down so your fabric will move out and your strap will not move away, and everything is going to align properly. By the time you're done finish, your strap is going to look straight. After you finish pin all down, you sew both your lining, your main pieces, and your strap together. Make sure you backstitch. And here is the I won't say it's a final look. This is how it's coming out. And I didn't know my camera wasn't showing everything, so yeah. So that is the last pieces from the front pieces. Now I need to pin down the strap together. Pin the strap back to that notch part where you mark all your notches. Pin it down so your pieces will move away, and again pin down so that you get accurate lining. Line it up so that your strap will look straight by the time you're done. After pinning down your strap to the pieces, your main fabric, you get your lining. Place your lining right side facing right side like you see me doing. You pin down as well. Make sure you pin down. By the time you finish pinning all down, you sew your lining to your main pieces and your strap together. After you're done sewing, make sure you iron your fabrics, your pieces. Iron it. So here is the final look for the front pieces. We are done. Now we are moving to the front pieces. Here I'm joining my zipper allowance space, but I'm going to backstitch when I get to the part where I want my zip to stop. Backstitch. Also backstitch where your slit is going to stop. So here is my back, the fabric. Now I also do the same thing to the lining. Now I'm going to loose up the part where I want to attach my zip on. So I'm going to face my zip off camera. If you want me to show you how I get my clean finished zip, please leave your comment below. I will sure do the tutorial for that. But right now I'm going to face my zip off camera. My zip is ready. So you can see how clean it is. Now my lining, place my lining, open your zip and attach your lining. That zip allowance that you left for the lining, like you see what I'm doing, you are going to pin it down like this way. You are going to pin it to the part where the zip stop. Repeat the same thing for the other side of your zip. You're going to close up that part. After finish pinning down, you're going to make sure you do everything, pin all your pieces down, and then you sew from that allowances that you left where you pin along. Make sure you backstitch. So my zip is done. See how clean it is. So now I have already joined the other side of my back pieces to the lining. So because I want the finishing, the inside to look clean, so I want to seal in all the rough edges. So by doing that, you see what I do? I flip the wrong side, the right side of the fabric to the right side of my lining, and you're going to pin it down. Pin all down to the hemming allowance. Pin it down to the bottom. Like you see what I do. When after finish pinning down, you're going to sew it. Repeat the same thing with the other side. So now this is the mini skirt part. We only joined all the pieces, but we did not join seal in the rough edges. So right now I'm sealing off the rough edges, like you see what I'm doing right now. Seal off the rough edges, and then you're going to sew it. Like you seal it up by doing this is how you're going to seal it off. And so on the other side, that is the bottom part. When you are going to sew, leave 3 inches opening, so that when you are going to join everything together to your hemming allowance, from that 3 inches that you reserve, you're going to bring out the bottom, your hemming allowance, to seal off everything. So right now we're going to use facing to close up our waist, because this skirt doesn't have a band. So pin down your facing on your waistline, and you're going to sew it just as I'm doing. Please just follow this step if you don't understand my explanation. So I have sewed down my facing to my waistline. After you finish sewing your facing to your waistline, look at what I did. You're going to stop stitch. You're not going to stop stitch on the line. On the lining, you're going to flip it up. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing right now. Like you see what I'm doing, please pay attention on here, so that you stop stitch on that place. By the time you finish to flip up your facing, it's going to lay flat, so it won't get away. Maybe when you wear it, it's not going to be moving around. Look at what I'm talking about. You see how flat it is? This is the inside. And we are doing the same thing to the back side. You're going to pin down your facing to your back pieces. You pin down as well. Make sure you repeat the same thing to both the other part of your back pieces. After finish, you sew down. After finish sewing down, you're going to repeat the same thing like I did at the front pieces. You're going to sew it down so that by the time you finish, you flip it up. Repeat the same step on both sides. I did mine the other one on off camera. You can see how clean the inside is. So now it's time to seal up the hemming allowance. That is your bottom part. You need to seal it up so that everything is going to line up. It's going to look clean, both the down and the upper side. Like just watch me and do the same thing I'm doing. I don't know if my explanation is okay, but so like you see what I did, you have to, after you've pinned down, you have to sew it. Oh yeah. After doing that, make sure you iron. You see that space where I left 3 inches? Yeah, for the bottom part of the front pieces. So it's from that pieces that I was able to sew in my hemming allowance. From that is the lower part. I was able to sew in that. Then after I finish sewing it, I bring it out from that place where I left 3 inches. So you see what I'm doing? You're going to fold in those parts and sew them down with 0.5 inches. You can decide to sew or you can weave whichever way that is okay for you, just do it, okay? But me, I see what I'm doing. Fold it in and then I'm going to iron. I'm sew it down like that, like you see me doing. Repeat the same thing, all the opening space, you're going to repeat the same thing, all of it, both the front pieces and the back pieces. You're going to repeat the same thing. Yeah, so all those opening space down, so that by the time you finish, you automatically you have sealed in all the rough edges inside. So the back and the front pieces is ready to attach together. So you make sure you line up the waist so that by the time you're done, when you open it, everything is going to line in properly. So you'll see what I did. After finish pinning down, you are going to sew the front and the back pieces together. When sewing, don't rush it. Take your time. Make sure you get a clean finishing. It's best when you take your time to sew than you rush and then you start losing up again to start afresh. I'm talking out of experience, so so don't be like me. Anyway, if you follow up with my explanation or watch what I am doing, you will get a good finished result at the end of the day, because it's when I later realized the process, it was very easier. It was not that difficult. Hey there, are you still around? If you're still watching till this time, I want to say a big thank you for watching. If you do enjoy this video, if you learned something new from this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your post notification to get notified each time I post a new sewing tutorial. If you are a new subscriber, so if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say a big thank you for watching. Till we see again on my next sewing tutorial. We are coming to the end of this tutorial anyway, so yeah. So and the finished look is here. Look how cute, how beautiful it is. You can let me know if you recreate this style. I would love to see your recreation. And here is the finished look.